Hello, hello.
Howdy, howdy.
Hey, everybody. It is I, C+Hero, the hero Vtuber in the making, with my lovely co-host Astro Kyle. And today we are doing the long-awaited Honkai Star Rail Tierlist 2.0. It's been an exciting time, and hello, everybody. It's a very exciting time for us because it's been a while we did a tier list. I checked, and the last time we did this tier list was actually about almost half a year ago.
Yeah, it was definitely a long time ago.
Yes, definitely a long time ago. But I only felt like it was just yesterday.
Right?
Yes, and actually I need to go into presenter mode for this tier list, and oh my god, it actually made the thing look bigger. I will just quickly fix this. Hang on, guys. Let's see now. Let's see. And there we go. Perfect. Okay. Alright then, perfect. I know that our head is kind of partially blocking some of the characters, especially on the far right side, but that's okay. Because unlike the last Honkai Star Rail tier list, we're gonna be going over both the waifu, the husbando, the low and the high. And we're gonna be including all of the characters that was released officially, publicly, in the game up to 2.2. At least phase 1 of 2.2. And this is all of the lovely characters from the game. So let me just explain about what the tier level is. First off, at the very bottom, we already have 3 characters added into this tier level. They are the chubby babies. Basically, they're literally chubby baby. Their thighs are literally chubby, short, and they kind of look like a kid. So that's the reason why they're in this tier level. And they are Hook, Clara, and Bailu. Like the last time, I think Clara is probably the most mature out of the 3. Even though technically Bailu is the oldest one, but they look basically like a kid anyway. So that is why we add there anyway. Then higher above that is plain as babe / husbando. So basically they're like plain, but they're just still a babe or husbando. That's just it. After that, it is the soft pillow. The soft pillow is the type of character's lap where you want to just lay your head on their lap, and because they feel so comfy like a pillow. Then above them is the mommy / daddy-o lap. This is where this is the type of tier level where the characters' lap are very, very mommy lap, or you could say daddy-o lap, that you just want to hug or basically put your head laid down and just stay there forever. And then above there, it's the Crush My Skull level. This is the highest tier level. And this is where literally basically where we go a little bony and just want to say, crush my skull, just for pleasure. And that's just it. That is it. So that's kind of how things will work.
Right.
Yup. And also, why is the music turn off for such a I'm gonna turn on the music back on. I don't know why it's turned off for some reason, but yes, so that is all of that's the tier list level. And oh, I see. Okay, so now that we're all set and good, I think we can finally begin. So like in our last tier list, we're not gonna go over any of the oldest character that we already gotten over. Like last time, we only did the females up until at least up until the latest version of Honkai Star Rail. Probably was like what 1.4, 1.5. So
yeah,
right now we're including all of the characters from 2.2 at least up until phase 1. So let us begin with the very first one, and this is like probably the fan favorite character in the game currently right now, and that is, please welcome the one and only Acheron. So Acheron, what does she do? Well, she is basically a lightning agility character. She share the same elemental type and path like Kafka, but if you think she's a dot enabler, then she is not. She is mostly a DPS user. She does a very high crit damage, as well as you want to build her with a very high crit rate, because the way she works is that at Eidolon level 0, you actually require to have 2 other Nihility units in the same team to make her work, because depending on how many debuff your enemy is inflicted, they also gain another kind of debuff called the Crimson Flow. And if the enemy has about 9 Crimson Flow, then Acheron could do more damage on them. However, unlike any other character in the game, Acheron does not use an energy to activate her ultimate. The way to activate her ultimate has to do with that Crimson Flow debuff I mentioned about. Her ultimate, where her ultimate or her energy rate is supposed to be in battle, it is replaced by a black flower. Or personally, I like to say it's more like a black hole technically, and it literally is a black hole. But do not look too deep into it. Once she has like about 9 stacks, aka if any of the enemy has about 9 Crimson Flow at all time, then she could activate her ultimate, and the way to get these stack is to inflict debuff on your enemies. So any character that can inflict debuff, like say for example Pella or the Black Swan with her Arcana, then when the enemy has at least about like 9 debuff on them, then Black Swan can automatically, you can activate her ultimate, and she could just activate her domain expansion and basically slash multiple enemy. For the first 3 attack of her during her ultimate phase, she does single target damage, and she automatically select on the one that has the most number of Crimson Flow on them. And each time she does damage on enemy with the Crimson Flow debuff, they loses 3. So if it starts at 9, it goes down to 6. For a second attack, it go down to 3. Then her last, it go down to 0. And when after her 3rd attack, she declare an AoE effect damage on all the enemy and does quite a lot of damage. So yes, Acheron is very, very powerful. And for all of you who's like been a big fan of Honkai Impact 3rd, this is this game version of Raiden Mei. So, now, where would Acheron fit in this tier list level? Personally, if anything, I would say that Acheron will, I say for her, I was thinking that she definitely good in the mommy slash daddy-yo lab, but I personally think she's gonna be in the Crush My Skull tier list just because of how mysterious yet also terrifying about her. Why is she terrifying? Well, other than she looking very cool and all, she is, if you played through the game up until 2.1, it was revealed that she is a self-annihilator. She's the emanator of nihility, meaning that anyone that surrounds with her will be in quite of a huge dangers, because she find everything meaningless, and the eon that her path is on, the path of nihility 9, basically makes everything in the universe just purposeless and meaningless. And if we learn anything from that animated short trailer with Black Swan, wow, let's just say that Black Swan bite more than she could chew, and essentially she got a PTSD into when she was looking into Acheron's memory, and we don't want to see that ever again. And apparently Duolingo just joined the chat now. But anyway, so I think Acheron belongs in the Crush My Skull. What do you think, Astro?
I think that's a very accurate representation. I also just want to point out that the thigh tattoo she has, I'm very partial to that.
Yes, and plus, like, she is essentially the Raiden Mei, Honkai Star Rail version of Raiden Mei. So yes, she is based on a very lovable character from that game too. And if you guys managed to play through the latest patch, well, you guys kind of already know who she really is and what her real name is. But for now, we're gonna put her in the Crush My Skull. And for anyone who should join into the stream, welcome to the live stream. And howdy, gift of greed. And very surprised to see Duolingo here. This is probably the second time I see them appear. Alright then, next up, we have the Erudition, the Knights of Beauty. I like to call the fancy pants, but a very weird guy nonetheless. Please welcome Mr. Argenti. How about you take it here, Astro? What can Argenti do in the game?
So Argenti is the best absolute, I'm going to say it right out. He's the absolute best person for pure fiction. He is erudition, physical, amazing. Obviously, his normal attack is just single target, but his skill is a main part of his kit, as it is, AoE. And then his ultimate is actually a very fun and interesting, or it has a very fun and interesting mechanic, where it has technically 2 levels. So his ultimate has a first level, which is all AoE, of course, but it is a lot better for clearing, kind of the lower tier mobs that can more or less get one shot. But it also has a second tier where it deals even more damage and can be a lot better against some of the higher tier mobs. And I also want to point out that running him in the auto battle is actually, like, his AI in auto battle is actually very smart. So he will, if you're farming, just for like the experience capsules, for example, he will only ever use his tier 1 ultimate until you get to like the last stage where they have more of the boss type monsters, and then he'll use his he'll save up to have his higher tier ultimate for them.
Right. Yeah, I remember that Argenti has a little special thing about his ultimate. Your sentry could use his ultimate twice, and his second phase of his ultimate can do more damage. And the difference you can tell is that at the end, the rows that appear, it explode. But
Yeah,
yes, so where do you think Argenti belongs to?
I'm just gonna put it. I'm gonna immediately put him in the Crush My Skull tier. Number 1, he has armor. Not very nice against.
Yeah, that's true.
Not very nice against your skull anyway. But number 2, I'm very partial to physical characters, and he's just a beautiful man. I have to.
Well, he is a Knight of Beauty who follows an Eon of Beauty that supposedly it's dead, but we don't know about that. Supposedly, allegedly, the Eon of Beauty is dead. But, okay then, so you do have a good argument. I would say I have no argument against Argenti other than he's just a very strange man, a very flamboyant man for sure, but very strange nonetheless. I guess he will go with the Crush My Skull. Hopefully the Knight of Beauty won't look too deep into Acheron's thing with her black hole and stuff while he's there. But next up, we have another... I don't know if this character is considered to be Husbando, but this character is kind of suck. I don't want to call him a piece of shirt bag, but please welcome the leader of the security guard at Hertha Space Station, the terror of the great almighty Lord Pippi. Please welcome Arlen. And all I can say about Arlen is that he's a piece of shirt bag. Like I said before, Arlen, he is I know he's a lightning, but what path is he again?
Destruction. Yeah.
Oh. Well, only thing I do know about how Arlen works in the game is that you're gonna have to get him his HP at the lowest possible to do the most damage. That's what I know. But unfortunately, because of that's his mechanic and his stick, essentially, this makes him the most unusable character in the game. at least as of now in Honkai Star Rail. It's kind of quite sad. I mean, he's very easy to build early on the game, and he could be a very good, viable DPS early in the game. But until later on, and when I mean later on, I mean like very soon actually. Once you arrive at Planet Belobog, the very first world you visit, and you unlock Saval as your lightning unit, all get easily replaced, and you just never use him again, ever. Yeah, and personally, the only thing that's memorable about him, I actually made this guy to be like in my top 6 most forgettable characters in Honkai Star Rail, and he was at number 3. And the only reason why I put him number 3 is because, one, he has been memed a lot for being the most unusable character in the game. Nobody use him. Nobody use him in Pure Fiction. Nobody use him in the Master of Chaos. Nobody use him anywhere in the game at all. Not even the story of the game. Although maybe there's some few Daredevil player out there that actually use All-In. But other than that, All-In is just not very, very viable. He's very hard to use. Very easy to build, but very hard to execute. That's the problem with this guy. And the only thing that's memorable about him is that he takes care of the dog Peppy, who I think is the more memorable than him.
Yeah, I definitely think that when they were designing his kit, they had the right idea. It's just the execution was it kind of failed a little bit.
Yeah, and actually, thank you for the correction. Somebody in the chat, Chris, actually said that you actually get Savar in the mail. And yes, I actually just remember that you do get free Savar in-game mail if you're like a first-time player Honkai Star Rail. So yes, I remember that. So yeah, actually, Allen is just completely useless there. He's really completely useless. You don't even need to play him at the beginning of the game. So yeah, I would say Allen, it's plain as Husbando in this case. Or maybe we could put him the chubby babies. What do you think, Astro?
I mean, he's pretty plain. He's there. I mean, he would definitely comfort you in a situation. But that's about it.
Personally, I think Peppy is probably the one who will comfort has put on a higher tier list than him, to be honest. But anyway, enough roasty All-In for now. Now we go on to his boss, Asta. Last time in the tier list, we put Asta in soft pillow. I think it's safe to say that Asta can stay in the soft pillow.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Yes, Asta
she's still a very viable character. Very viable character, and would definitely comfort you in your time of need.
And also definitely probably one of the most underrated characters in the game too. Like Asta is just very, very helpful.
Yeah, for being a 4-star Harmony unit, she actually does a lot more than you'd think.
Right. If you just have to play her right, and she'll become very, very viable, even in some of the in-game content like Pure Fiction, Master of Chaos, and all that game mode. And now, I think this character is somebody that Astro has been waiting, and it's good time to be alive, because this man has caused so many people to go downright bad. Even the voice actors of Topaz and Clara were down horrendously bad for this man. It is the one and only, the man, the legend. The legend. Yeah, sorry. The legend. The man who say, "Doctor, you're huge." And he is indeed huge himself. It is the one and only, the gambler man himself, Mr. Aventurine from IPC. So what do you tell us about Aventurine, Astro?
Aventurine is the biggest Gamba man ever, and I'm here for it. We still don't know a whole lot about the rest of his story. We're, at least from where I'm at, there's still some mystery to him for sure. But he is a imaginary shielder unit, and his entire kit is based off of RNG, which, I mean, what could be better for a gambler character like himself? So
Yes.
his technique will enter the battle with the shield, and that his technique is actually based on RNG as well. So if you get 3 symbols on his little slot machine that are all different, you'll get kind of a low level shield. If you get 3 symbols that are all the same across, you'll get a medium rank shield. But only if you get 3 spades all the way across will you get like the highest tier shield possible when entering the battle. And that, of course, scales off defense. He also, when you're in the battle, you can use his skill to refresh the shield. And his ultimate is like the coolest animation ever, I think. But it basically gives you a random number between 1 and 7 to build up the stacks for his follow-up attack. And his follow-up attack, again, can be triggered by the number of stacks that he has, whether he builds them up himself, or whether he builds them up based on your other follow-up attack units doing their follow-up attacks.
Right. Yeah. A little bit of count added at that. So basically, eventually has his own little counter stack called the blind bet, and every time enemy hit his shield or your ally's shield, he gain 1 blind bet, and if he get at least 7 or more, he will automatically activate his follow-up attack. I think his blind bet counter can go up to 10. So in other words, if the enemy can attack multiple times in the same turn, you could actually activate his follow-up attack twice in the same turn, in the same cycle. So
it is very rare for it to happen, but it is technically possible.
It is technically possible, and I have seen other players have made it possible. And eventually is a very, very good character. In fact, if you manage to pull him and got him in the last patch, then you're very, very well set, because if you have him, Dr. Ratio, which we'll go over a little bit later, and Topaz and Numby, along with the brand new character Robin, who we will go over later, then you can make a very viable follow-up team. Though that kind of team, it's basically the dream team for follow-up attack. And it's great. So eventually, it's just very awesome. And so, for him, the most important question we need to ask is, where do we want to put him at the tier level? And I can already guess what it is, but I think Astro can say that answer to everybody.
I absolutely love Aventurine. He is going in the Crush My Skull tier. If we had a tier for just me to worship him like a god, I would.
Yes, Aventurine goes into my Crush My Skull. Crush My Skull Daddy.
I'm not even gonna lie, I'm gonna put him above Acheron.
Oh, wow. Yeah, right. Yes, and some people will never recover. Oh, you miss him by 1 single pool? Oh, that's bad. So sorry to hear that, Chris. I'm sorry for your RNG.
Oh no.
Wasn't so. Astro Kaio is so real. Yeah, I agree. All right, then next
Not
up.
above Acheron, no. Yes, above Acheron.
Above Acheron. Well, Aventurine is a very fun guy, and actually a little fun fact about Aventurine is that his English voice actor, apparently from what I read, this is actually his first gig in voice acting. In other words, this is his very first job as a voice actor. And he did a tremendous job as Aventurine.
Yeah, I remember hearing that, and he's done such good work with his voice acting for it being like one of his first gigs.
Yeah, and I think everybody gonna remember him by as the Doctor. You're huge, guy.
Yeah, absolutely. That line is just so funny.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny. It's so suggestive at the same time if you think too deep on it. But anyway, moving on, we have the memo keeper from the Garden of Recollection, and also the one who got a huge PTSD from Akira because, well, if you watch that animated short, then you know the reason why. Please welcome the one and only, the lovely Black Swan. So Black Swan, she is a win agility unit. She is a dot enabler with her own little stick called Arcana. When at the very beginning of the battle, if Black Swan is present in the team, then each enemy will be inflicted with 1 Arcana, and you can stack up to 50 Arcana on any enemy at given time. At the beginning of each turn, the Arcana does a dot damage on the enemy. This dot damage is considered to be as a wind shear because, well, Black Swan is a wind type. And Black Swan is also can inflict defense reduction as well through her skill. And her ultimate is very, very beautiful. And personally, I know most players play this game on a fast forward mode because the entire battle can take a very long time to complete, even for 1 turn. But I personally like Black Swan ultimate in a regular slow speed because when she does her ultimate in the regular speed, she say her line and she does a little bit of a sinister yet very sexy laugh at the end of the ultimate too, where she summoned a bunch of her hand out of the
stained glass window.
Stained glass. So she is a very cool character. As a matter of fact, I have a little bit of a fan out of her as my home wallpaper on my lock screen wallpaper on my phone too. So that's how much I like Black Swan. And yes, I do not know, but if you do, yes, Black Swan and Acheron's ship forever. Yes, indeed. Because of reason. Anyway, personally for me, I think Black Swan definitely go into the mommy/daddy-o lap because funny thing is that Black Swan thigh is about the same size of Kafka's thigh. If you look at them standing standing next to each other, their thigh size is literally the same.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes. Yep. So Black Swan is definitely going to the mommy/daddy-o lap. Okay.
All right.
Speaking of a wind unit, it looked like the next character is another wind character, and this guy is more of a DPS user. He is Kafka's colleague, one of the fellow members of the Stellar Hunter, the man who chases down Dun Hong for some apparent reason. Maybe he's a stalker, I don't know. But please welcome Mr. Blade. So, what can you tell us about Blade, Astro?
So Blade is a wind destruction unit, basically dealing damage based on HP and based on how low his HP is. He can heal himself. He works really good. I haven't really used mine too much to be able to, give too much information, but he's very good. He can do a lot of damage if built right and with the right teammates.
Right. Yeah, Blade is a very, very good character. He has a very weird synergy with another character named Jingli Yu, even though in the lore-wise, Jingli Yu and Blade are considered to be an enemy each other, former allies in arm. But the way it works is that in that team, you can put Jingli Yu and Blade in the same team. Jingli Yu, when she's in her crazy mode, she can suck up the HP of the team, and that actually can benefit to Blade because then Blade can do more damage as well. So Blade is a very interesting DPS. If you have him, he's a very good character to invest in. Just, be careful of, be mindful about his HP reduction too. You don't want to get his HP low enough that the enemy can literally KO him before he even do any use in the battle. But for him, where should we put him, Blade?
I don't think that he'd even let you touch his lap, so he's probably gonna go in the plain tier.
Okay then, I agree. If any,
He is hot, but I really don't think he'd let you go anywhere near him.
right? If anything, it's not the lap that you could actually touch his lap. No, what you'll be touching from here is his sword, because he's the
Pretty
one
much.
who will pull the sword on you.
Pretty much.
Okay, now we have another Wind character. This character, for some other reason, it's kind of indirectly demanding me to build her. Please welcome the Supreme Guardian of Belobog, Bronya. So we already went over Bronya, but to make it a little bit short, she is a Wind Harmony character. Her stick is that she can do an advance forward on your single ally. So in other words, your allies can go another turn even after they completed the turn. And she can do that if you pair up her with Zilly, her girlfriend. But Zilly can literally go again and again because of her little shtick that can do to her mechanic. And Bronya is just overall a very good harmony character to unlock. And lucky for all Star Rail players, she is actually a standard character. In other words, you can actually pull her anytime you want through the standard banner. And I think the last time we put her in the tier list, she was in the Map Mommy lab. And I don't think there's nothing changed about that. Unless you have a different opinion now, Astro.
Nope. I think Mommy Tier's pretty much there. She definitely gives off those vibes.
Yes, she definitely gives up the vibe. And again, like Acheron, Bronya happened to be one of our fan favorite characters from the original Honkai Impact 3rd. But this Bronya is different from that other Bronya. Now, we are going over the next character. I actually mentioned this during the Blade segment. Please welcome, well, this is kind of a little bit awkward because we have a 2 version of him here. But first, we're going to go with the first version, and that is the 5-star limited imaginary character, Dunhung Inhibitor Lunae. What can you tell us about Dunhung Inhibitor Lunae compared to his 4-star version?
So, Imbibitor Lunae is an imaginary destruction unit, unlike his Wind Hunt 4-star counterpart. He has another stacking ability. Basically, you can use his skill up to 3 times in order to boost the damage of his normal attacks. And he obviously will do AoE damage based on that. His ultimate will also refresh the stacks and basically give you an instant charge 2 or 3. I do not have him on my account, unfortunately, so I haven't been able to really test him too much, but he can dish out some damage. I will say that.
Yes, he definitely can dish out some damage, definitely, for sure. And if you manage to have another Harmony character, which we'll go over later today, Sparkle, then this man, you could actually activate the enhanced basic attack anytime you want, and you're most likely won't run out of the skill point if you manage your skill point use very well.
Yeah.
So for Dunhung Inhibitor Lunae, this version of Dunhung, I think he could go with the Daddy Yo lab.
Yeah, for sure. I can totally agree with that.
All right then. And then we kind of, this is a very awkward situation, but we have the 4-star regular Dunhung. This is the Wind Hunt version of Dunhung. He only do a single target damage. And is there anything special about the 4-star version other than he's a single target hunt unit?
If he is built properly, he can do some pretty decent damage. And being that he's still kind of like considered one of the early 4-stars in the game, you've probably at least invested a decent amount into him, like to try and help you clear the early stages. So if you just continue up further, I mean, he can do some stuff. He can do some work for sure.
Yeah, so I think this version of Dunhung, unfortunately, he doesn't deserve to be the Mommy Star Daddy Yo lab. I think he's kind of like going either in the soft pillow or playing his Husbando. What do you think, Astro?
I think he could go. Yeah, I think it could go pretty plain. I mean, I still like his design a lot, like his 4-star design. Um, he just can definitely be outclassed by a lot of the other hunt units that they've released recently.
Right, definitely right. And actually, hang on a second for a moment. Okay, I think it's for anyone who's watching YouTube right now. Oh, oops. Whoa, that was weird. Sorry about that. For anyone who's watching YouTube, I do not know what exactly going on, but apparently OB is saying there is some kind of a drop rate going on right now, drop frame going on right now, but seems to be working fine on YouTube Studio. But in case if anyone ever experienced the issue, then I apologize in advance. But anyway, I think, yeah, 4-star Dunhong going to the plane is Babe / Husbando. And unfortunately for him, he also has to deal with Blade in the same tier list level too. So I guess Blade is a stalker.
A little bit.
Ah, yes. Now, okay, Asho, we need to get this tier level for this character right. Because, oh wow, he's going to judge us. Especially our IQ. So please welcome the man from the Intelligentsia Guild, and also sort of an associate to the IPC, a colleague to Aventurine. Please welcome the one and only Dr. Veritas Ratio. What can Dr. Ratio do, Astro?
Dr. Ratio is an imaginary hunt unit, and he deals a lot of follow-up attacks. He can so he deals follow-up attacks based on the amount of debuffs that the enemy has. So very similar to Acheron in the fact that they want their enemies to be absolutely overloaded with debuffs. But he also can like his follow-up attack is also based on a percentage. So that kind of goes along with his theming of being very smart and intelligent. It's a percentage chance. His ultimate is very cool. He just drops a giant quartz pillar on you. I mean, what more can you say? He's absolutely beautiful.
Yes, very absolutely beautiful. He is a very calculated man, because of course he is a member of the Intelligentsia Guild, so he's a very smart man, probably one of the smartest character in the Honkai Star Rail as of now. And a little bit of a fun fact, if you look at his splash art, he does this little L pose, like L to the ratio pose, basically a lot of people say. And the thing about it is that his Japanese voice actor also voiced another character that do the same L pose. And that character is Kakyoin from JoJo Bizarre Adventure Part 3. So in other words, the entire thing about Dr. Ratio, it's a freaking JoJo reference.
Yeah, I also found that to be absolutely hilarious. And I think it's absolutely the sickest thing.
Yes, it's really cool. I actually really love that we actually have a legitimate JoJo reference character in the game now. And Dr. Rachel is very cool. I actually really need to build a follow-up team with him now that I have Robin, Topaz, and Aventurine. I really need to build it. But most importantly, before that, we need to decide which tier level he belongs to.
I am going to immediately put him in daddy tier.
Okay, so it's a Daddy Olaf.
Yep.
Daddy Olaf, hopefully he'll give us an A+ for this.
I think we'll at least be able to pass the test.
Hopefully pass the test.
All right, everyone.
We already went over this character before. This is actually one of Astro's favorite character. We have the Quantum Preservation Fushuan. And Fushan is actually going to be returning for a rerun in about a couple weeks from now, actually. Like beginning of June or end of May, actually. But I think the last time we bought Fushan, I think she was playing as Babe? just because
Uh,
of
yeah,
how.
I think so.
I don't think we put in the soft pillow. I don't think we did.
No, I think if we have anything to learn from Qingchua, she wouldn't let anybody near her within a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, unfortunate for her. Even she did not predict this, but she is in the plane is babe slash husbando. Speaking of husbando, we have I would say our very first like himbo like character, and this character was a quite of a red herring when he played his role in the story, as of the story in Honkai Star Rail. But overall, he's not a very bad guy. He's mostly a very chill, a very cool character who make a very delicious combination of drink with involving with soda, kind of a reference to alcohol actually. But in Honkai Star Rail, they don't have actual real alcohol in the game, although they do have a reference to it. Please welcome Mr. Gallagher. So Gallagher is a fire abundance character. He is a healer actually, but his stick is a little bit interesting. Thing about Gallagher is that he is kind of mainly focused on break effect. So he does a single target with his basic attack, but his ultimate does an AoE damage, and after his ultimate, first of all, his ultimate inflicts a certain debuff on the enemy, and when the enemy is on that certain debuff, his basic attack is also enhanced if he attacked that enemy with that certain debuff, if I am correct on his mechanic. And plus, he also heal your ally with a can of soda. So that's kind of his interesting little stick, because that's kind of referred to him as a bar mixer. He mixes different drink. If you ever went to an actual real bar, you might have seen bartender mixes different ingredient in to make a single drink. So yes, Gallagher, it's a very interesting character. He was sort of a red herring in the story of Honkai Star Rail and Penacody, but overall, he's not a bad guy. I would say that for Mr. Gallagher, to be honest, he's kind of in the soft pillow tier list.
I not gonna lie, I think I'm gonna put him in daddy tier personally. I love a man who can make a drink.
Okay then, so we're gonna have to decide this by head and tails now. So I'm gonna switch to a different page and put head and tail. Alright then, so alright Chad, we're gonna decide where Gallagher's gonna be in. Is he gonna be in the soft pillow or the Daddy-O lab? So head will be soft pillow and tail will be the Daddy-O lab. Alright, here we go. And it's soft pillow. So he goes into soft pillow.
You know, it's not that bad of a thing to have some varying tier lists. I'm sure everybody else would have their own variation as well.
Yes, indeed. And now we have another, this man is a little bit much more stricter and less calmer than Gallagher. It is Japad from the Bellabog, Ice Preservation character. I think, but first before we put him on the tier level, how about you explain what he can do, Astral? As he probably play a little bit differently than Adventure, even though he is a shielder too.
Yes. So, my boy is absolutely amazing at shielding. He can use his ultimate to shield. So unlike Aventurine, his shielding is based on his ultimate, and his skill does kind of a little multi-hit, and it has a chance to freeze the enemy. And then obviously his normal attack is just a basic normal attack. It builds up skill points. That's kind of all there is. But having the extra chance to freeze on some enemies that are not immune to being frozen can be very nice in terms of making sure that your team, can have that chance to get that extra turn in before the enemy, obliterates you. or it can potentially give you the extra couple energy that you need to cast your ultimate to have that full buffed up shield.
Yes, Japad is a very good character to have as your shielder if you manage to pull him. And for his case, where do you think he could go to on this tier list?
I think we'll put him on soft pillow.
Soft pillow. Okay, then I don't disagree on that. I think he's definitely in the soft pillow.
Yes. If you all would be so kind as to give me just a moment, I need to step away. I gotta cook some dinner.
Yes, everybody.
I'll be right back.
If you guys want to know, she's cooking lasagna for us.
Oh yes, absolutely. Everybody's invited for dinner.
Yes, let's hang out at Astro's house and eat some lasagna, man. Funny thing enough, I think I noticed that there's actually a brand new preview trailer for the next Garfield animated movie that just came out recently today. So now that I'm already thinking about lasagna.
Oh, it makes you want to watch the movie and eat lasagna even more.
Yes.
All right. I will be back momentarily, and no worries.
All right then. Okay, while we're waiting for Astro to come back, yeah, I hope that all of you guys are enjoying this live stream, and if you do, please consider giving it a like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and check my other Honkai Star Rail related content, and check out Astro Kaio's YouTube channel as well. And actually maybe we could turn a little bit on the music while we wait for her. Sorry if there was no music being played because apparently whenever somebody is speaking during the live stream here, especially I'm using a voice channel in Discord, it stopped the Spotify from playing. So that's kind of the only downside of the reason why the Spotify music wasn't playing when we were talking. Especially during the voice channel, because we're using a voice channel in Discord and all. But anyway, yeah, so far so good with this tier list. I'm actually liking where this tier list is going well. And definitely I will make some kind of a clip or highlight video for this live stream later today. And I'll definitely gonna add a music when at part that there was no music being played for sure. Yes. We still have a long way to go. We have a couple more characters. Well, not a couple, several more characters to go. I think we
Alrighty.
Oh, hey, welcome back.
I told you I'd be right back.
Yes, you're back at Hot Minute. And speaking of Hot Minute, we have another a fellow streamer in the world of Honkai Star Rail, and this character is probably the most relatable character in the game for a streamer in Vtuber life. Please welcome Miss Gwenefin. Well, I think we already went over Gwenefin in the last tier list. She is a fire nihility unit. She has her own little stick, which uses a debuff called Fire Kiss, which does burn damage. And I think the last time we did a tier list, I think we put Gwenefin in the soft pillow. But do you have any change of opinion on that, Astro?
Nope, I think she can stay in soft pillow. She is probably like the best friend character that wants to support you through everything. I think that fits her very well.
Yeah, fun fact is that I didn't realize that so I actually played the event, the Ghostbuster event, before I played the Ethereum War event. And the Ethereum War event canonically took place before the Fictional Garden. But I only got to know Gwenefin through the Fictional Garden event as Yin Zhao in the game. So that's something what I learned. Yeah. Okay, then. Next up, we have speaking of Fictional Garden, we have a character that was introduced during that entire event as Yin Zhao. Please welcome the Grim Reaper, the judge from the Ten Lords Commission. It is Hanya. I think we already went over how Hanya played the game, but for a little bit of a memory case, can you review what exactly Hanya do exactly?
Yes, so Hanya with her skill can more or less increase the amount of skill points that you can use. Not quite as much as Sparkle, giving you, you know, an actual extra skill point to use, but she can refresh your skill points, making her very nice in skill point heavy comps. And with her ultimate, she can buff up a single unit and give them an attack and speed buff. It's very similar to Asta.
Right. Yeah, Hanya is not a very bad character, but if you have her at a higher Eidolon, she's actually become even better. She's kind of one. I actually put Hanya at number 2 for the most forgettable character in the game, just because I just really don't see her used a lot in the game. I mean, I personally don't use her a lot. Well, maybe I'll reconsider it now I have her at E6, but Hanya is just very mysterious to me. It makes me wonder, why is she not used, even though she's kind of very viable, though. But then again, I guess, you know, oh, she only does a single target damage. That's kind of one big problem. And when it comes to her kit, yeah, you kind of have to consider about turn orders and all that too. So things kind of get a little complicated when building around Hanya.
Yeah, I think if you know how to use her well, she can be very, very efficient for you, especially if you don't have Sparkle, or if you don't have some of the other units that, you know, do very similar things. So I think she's a very nice unit overall to have. She just takes a little bit of extra working around to make sure that, you know, you're buffing up the right unit at the right time and things like that.
Yes, and unlike Sparkle, she is a 4-star character, so you can actually get her anytime from the standard banner if you're lucky. And actually, she is currently available right now. Her drop rate is actually available on the character banner right now in the game, so you can get her at a higher chance. And I managed to get E6 Hanya too. If I can and Astro can, then you can too, if you really care about Hanya or really like her design. And personally, because of her design, her thick thighs, I think she goes into the mommy lab.
I also agree with that, 100%.
Alright. Now, this girl, I cannot say the same thing for Miss Herta here. She is definitely going to the plane is babe, because 1, she's a freaking puppet, and 2, because she's a puppet, I don't think her lap is very comfortable nor warm to put your head on.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be very comfortable or warm either.
Right.
Puppets, they're a little creepy, to be honest, too, sometimes.
Yeah.
She's not, but in general, they can be.
But but if this was some kind of a meme tier list, then I would put her on the much more higher tier level because of her kudu. Her follow-up attack became such a meme.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
I mean, she's actually a pretty viable character too, especially with the release of Pure Fiction, making pretty much every erudition character like better than they were before.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of erudition, we have another erudition character, and this character is definitely not a plain as babe, because she is more than just a babe. She looks fine. She is the one and only, the mommy of the Astro Express, the navigator of the Astro Express. Please welcome Miss Himeko. So, the Himeko is another erudition. She's unlike Herta, she's the opposite of Herta, a fire erudition character, and she also do a follow-up attack as well. And I think the last time we did a tier list level, she went on the mommy lab, and I don't think there's any disagreement on that.
I also do not disagree with that. However, I am going to have to put her above Dunhung and Bibiter Lune because she drinks coffee. I also drink coffee. We shake hands.
Okay, let me just change the order here, and you also mentioned put inventory above Acheron too. I thought you were joking that, but I guess you are serious too, so I did
I
change that
was
right now.
absolutely serious. You can leave your tier list however you feel. I personally just have to put him above everybody else.
Okay. All right then. So Himiko is definitely above Danhang and Lune. I just changed that right now. The next character. This character is kind of sad, actually, but to be honest. But please welcome the very kind, lovable, but very huge scary cat, Huahua. Or is it Huehue? I don't know how to pronounce the name
I
correctly.
think it's Ho-Ho.
But anyway, Huahua, it's unfortunately a very sad character. She is a wind abundance character, but she kind of works similarly of a harmony character because her ultimate provide an attack boost and a 20 energy regeneration.
Yeah,
So she can
very, very
regenerate
nice.
energy by 20 for all your allies.
Yeah, that's very nice. I'm very bummed out that I missed her, but definitely on the rerun I have to get her.
Yes, I have a feeling that Hoko may likely come available on the rerun for 2.3. Most likely, I just have a feeling that she's gonna come back for 2.3 because she is the only limited. I think she's the only 5-star limited healer that we have in the game. Or I could be not wrong, not correct about that. No, she's the at least the limited side. There's another healer, but she's already in the tier list, and that's Bailu. But
We have
yeah, Hogor
Lucia.
is very, very good. She also can help to remove debuff as well too if you ascend her at a higher level as well as unlock her traces. So Ho is very, very good. And a little fun fact, when she uses her let's see that I believe when you uses her her animation for when she hear her allies initiate, if you pause at a certain timing, you can see the faces of her paper talisman, and one of the paper talisman does the Anya face from the anime Spy X Family. So it's a little anime references. Love the
Yeah,
little
definitely.
atmosphere. And I think Ho, the last time we put her on the tier list, she was a chubby baby. Just
Yeah,
because
I
she was
think
kind of a
so.
baby, literally.
Yeah. Definitely acted like a very scared child. We need to protect her at all costs.
Yes, she's definitely a still child, and unfortunately, her own tail actually abuses her to be brave too. Unfortunately, and also fun thing about Ho is that I'm actually kind of a little super jealous of Ho because there's a little fan comic of her with introducing herself to the dot team, and that dot team consists of Kafka, Black Swan, and Ruan Mei, who we will go over a little bit later. And she was introducing herself, and they just thinking so cute, and like they're pampering her and all. Like they were acting so mommy to her, and I was just like super jealous. And all I can say that it should have been me, not her.
Yeah,
Should have.
absolutely 100% agree. A little jealous,
It
but
should have
you
been
know.
me, guys. It should have been me. Anyway, speaking of mommy character, we have my personal favorite Honkai Star Rail character, voiced by the lovely voice actor and content creator, YouTuber, and Vtuber self, Amelie. It is Jingli Yu, Ice Destruction Unit. Her stick is that if she gain 2 stacks, she'll go into a crazy mode. I think it's called something transformation. I don't know what it's called, but I can't remember the name. Anyway, when she in this mode, she does an AoE damage on all the enemy for the next, I believe about 2 turns. But if she uses her ultimate, she could actually gain 1 more stack, so you can make her stay in her crazy mode as long as you can regenerate her energy and activate her ultimate all the time. but she is very, very powerful. Similar to like Acheron, you want to build her with a high crit damage and high crit rate, but her traits give her a passive 50% crit rate, which is very, very good. So, for Acheron, I mean not Acheron, for Jingliu, I think the last time we put her in a mommy lab. But what do you say, Astro?
I think we can keep her in the same tier.
Yep, keep her in the same tier. And now, now this is gonna be interesting. We have Amelie Tech Support, aka the General of Xianzhao Alliance. Please welcome General Jing Yuan. What can Jing Yuan do, Astro?
Jing Yuan is a lightning erudition unit, also with and not necessarily a follow-up attack mechanic, but he has kind of a additional attack with the Lightning Lord. It has its own section in the turn order. You can obviously boost it up with speed and that kind of stuff. But basically, normal attack, basic single target hit. His skill does the usual AOE attack as well. And then the ultimate summons the Lightning Lord, lets it be able to do a bunch of like multi-hit lightning attacks. It's super, super dope ultimate. I love the animation for it.
Yes, Jingyu 1 is a very interesting fun fact is Jingyu 1 is happy to be Jingliu's former apprentice / student. And one of the member of the 5 quintets. But due to some mysterious reason with the death of one of their member, the group has parted away from each other, such as Dunhung, previous incarnation Dunfeng. I know, it kind of sounds confusing, right? There's now Dunfeng, I don't know. But anyway, Dunfeng, Blade, and Jingliu. Jingliu is the only good guy who's just like alive, and this man has been around for a very, very long time. He's one of those long-lived species.
Yeah, Jingyuan is just like one of my favorite characters, and I absolutely love his voice actor.
Yes, his voice actor Sayu is happened to be a VTuber himself, while his full name is Alejandro Sab. But I just refer to him as Sayu because that's his VTuber name, his VTuber persona. And Sayu and Amelie shenanigan with each other is actually now officially canon because of their work and Honkai Star Rail voice acting, which is pretty great. And Sayu, or as Alejandro Sab, is very well in tune with other voice actors with Honkai Star Rail. I know that he recently appeared as a guest in Molly Zhang. Molly Zhang is the voice actor of Zilly, and they did a group character pool for Robin recently. And I heard they went really great. Although the only unfortunate thing about Sayu, aka Jingyuan, is that there's one other Honkai Star Rail content creator and who is a VTuber herself. Her name is Mina Aoyama, and she never pooped for Jingyuan, and Sayu just kind of passively bullying her, like, when are you pooing my character, Mina? Poo my character, Mina. Like, and Mina's like, I'm trying, okay, I'll do it next time. And what's even funny is that there's even a screenshot, official screen from the game, where the female triplets is standing in the Astro Express. But if you look closely behind Stelly, just a far little distances, standing on the wall, this Jingyuan, who's just standing there menacingly.
Yeah, I remember seeing that too. That was really funny.
Yeah. So the whole shenanigan between Sayu and Mina also kind of became canon because of that screenshot. Literally became like an inside joke. It literally, Jingyuan is indirectly telling her, "Pull me, Mina. I'm here, Like, he's just standing there menacingly. Anyway, right. I think for Jingyuan, where should we put him anyway?
I think he should go in the Daddy-O tier right next to Jingliu.
Oh, good. I hope they don't fight. But
I don't
if
think so.
anything, if Thunderlord was a separate character, I'll put Thunderlord in the Crush My Skull just for a different reason.
Yeah, if the Lightning Lord was its own separate character, that he would crush your skull, but because he's really strong.
And he's a real big boy. He's like,
He's huge,
yeah, he's huge. like what Adventurine would say, he's huge.
right?
My lord, you're huge. Okay, speaking of huge, we have a character who's literally the definition of a mommy. When this character first appeared in the game, everybody wanted it. I mean, absolutely everybody, including your grandma. Please welcome Kafka, the Stellar Hunter. Lightning Agility Unit. She inflicts dot. She's basically like the main dot enabler. A very popular character in the Honkai Star Rail. There's so many fan art, cosplay, and everything about her. Everybody adore her, even though she's very mysterious. We don't even exactly know what her real intention is, but she is very cunning, very elusive, and very like, very eroge, but like, she's very eroge, and some people kind of theorize that Himeko and Kafka has a thing or two or something like that. But for this tier list, I think the last time we put her, she was in the Crush My Skull. And she's still in that Crush My Skull.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And you know what? Sorry to say this, but I think we're going to have to put her above Agenti because a reason.
Okay, while I love Argenti, he is nowhere near Kafka level.
No. I mean, if there's a true beauty, then I say I choose Kafka over Agenti.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, alright then. Speaking of that, I actually forgot, I may have forgot to say this during the Agenti because I didn't put enough thought on him, but I remember that Agenti in Japan as a promotion, there was a collab promotion between HeroVerse with character Agenti and a certain makeup company in Japan where they make a makeup, but I don't know if you ever heard of this manga or anime series called The Rose of Visilis. So the Rose of Visili,
I believe I've heard of it, yes.
yeah, so the Rose of Visili is a little bit loosely based on a historical event. This manga took place during like the pre-era of the French Revolution, and there was a character called Oscar. And Oscar is basically a woman, but she was raised as a boy. So she's like very tomboyish character, and she goes through all this kind of interesting romance story, but also kind of like a interesting like perspective of the life of the aristocracy and monarchy of France of that time. And of course, in this manga and anime series, we actually see a real historical figure. One of the most important character in that manga, who's based on a real historical figure, is Mary Antoinette. And if you know what happened to Mary Antoinette, at least during her last phase of life, well, you kind of already know what happened, because every monarch member during that time got their head chopped, like literally. And
Yeah.
but back to Agenti, why that's related with Agenti is because the same mangaka, the manga artist who wrote that manga, actually made her own art style of Agenti and her own style for that makeup promotion with Honkai Star Rail, HeroVerse. So very interesting fact, very fun fact of they did that with the character Agenti. Since Agenti is kind of does look like a character from that Rosa Visili anyway. I mean, he literally is.
Yeah.
Anyways, next up, we have another character. This character kind of suck, but not really. If you do play the Zillie's Companion mission, you actually learn that this character have a heart of gold and a very, like, wholesome and sad story. But this character, please welcome the boxer, the champion, Luca. So what can Luca do, Astro?
So Luca is a physical nihility unit that does DOT damage with, I believe it's the bleed effect.
Yes.
Basically, he is he's more of a single target dot unit, which unlike a lot of the other dot units, which focus more AoE, Luca is definitely more single target. But what he can do is very, very awesome. He has 4 stacks that he can stack up, and it will boost his normal attack to be able to do more damage, get more dots. Both his skill and his ultimate will bring up those stacks. And basically, let me just put it this way: bleed and physical break are some of the strongest break effects in the game. So having him on your team while not being AoE can still work really well on in a dot team if you're going up against bosses in let's say the Forgotten Hall, because he just does a lot of damage. I actively used him for the longest time because I did not want to invest into anybody else. I am partial to the man with the robot arm.
Yeah. Luca is, well, his personality is something to get used to, but overall, as a fighter, he's not that bad. Like you said, he does inflict bleed. In fact, every every physical attack that can inflict bleed if they break the enemy's weakness. And so for Luca's case, I think he's kind of partially cyborg, so I think he's kind of like playing as Husbando, to be honest.
I think he's pretty plain, yes, as far as husbandos go, but I still absolutely love his character and his character design. I think they did really good with that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I kind of put him in the top 6 most forgettable character in the game. I put him at number 4, so he's not the most forgettable, but he's sort of forgettable at time from time.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I know that either they have him and they don't use him, or they don't even know he exists, which I find very sad because he's very cute.
Yeah, I mean, even during I think Luca was introduced during version update 1.2 in the early game of the Honkai Star Rail in the early days last year. And during that special program for 1.2, Luca was first introduced, and Kafka, because Kafka was introduced at the same time during 1.2, even the voice actor of Kafka said something about Luca's light cone, his signature light cone, which is the Shine Pearl as resolution. Kafka said something like, he looks different in the light cone.
I think it has to do with the fact that he's not wearing a shirt.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, Kafka has a little interest on Luca. Anyway,
Yeah, for sure.
moving on. So the order of the character was kind of a little bit messy because I added this character a little bit late, but we're gonna skip Lynx, but we will get back to her after this character. This character, it's from another kind of werewolfy Husbando. He is one of, if not best healer in the Honkai Star Rail. But when his rerun happened about a month or 2 ago, he kind of was put in a very difficult situation because he was between Acheron and other werewolfy 5-star limited character at the time. But please welcome one and only Lo Chao. Lo Chao. Lo Chao. Lo Chao?
Lo Cha.
Lo Chao. Oh, sorry. Lo Chao. I don't know why I say Lo Chao like Chao.
It's okay. I'm also not the greatest at pronunciation.
Yeah, I mean, some of these characters' pronunciation is so hard. So, what did Lo Chao can do? Or Lo Cha?
He has the ability to heal you and heal you a lot. He scales off of attack. So if you're running him in a damage over time team, for example, any attack boosts that you may get, from Asta, for example, will not actually go to waste. They'll actually be very helpful for him to deal damage and heal you for a lot more. His ultimate also has the ability to remove buffs from the enemy. So, for example, there's the one enemy that can. It's one of the big shield guys with the flowers. I forget what they're called, but he can that enemy can revive itself or bring other units
Yeah.
onto the field with it.
Hmm.
And he has the ability to just completely say, absolutely not, you are not going to do that.
I think
So very, very
right.
helpful.
I think I know what enemy you're talking about, but I actually have never seen that character revive himself. The one with the big shield.
Yeah, I think it brings other units to the field with him.
Yes.
But yeah, Luocha can basically say, no, that's not happening.
Yeah, Locha, I was kind of planning to pull this guy, but he was in a tough position for a value of character pool because he was a 5-star limited character alongside with Acheron. And then after Acheron, I think it was who came after Acheron? Maybe the chat will remember this, but after Acheron, who was it? There was somebody. Was it?
Don't think it was Ruan Mei.
No. It was like
'Cause she was
another
before.
5-star. What? Oh, right, Sparkle. That's right, Spark. No,
Oh,
wait, no.
Sparkle.
Sparkle was
Oh my
with Black
goodness.
Swan. It came out after Black Swan. What?
Oh no.
Who was with after Acheron? Who was after Acheron? Oh wait, it was Aventurine. I think it was Aventurine.
I think it had to
Yeah,
have
sorry.
been.
I'm sorry. Like, gee, and my mind is running blank. Yeah, so Lu Chao was. I mean, not Lu Chao. Lo Chao or Lo Chao, Ka-Chow, was in a very tough position when it comes to the value of character pool at the time of his rerun because he was in between these two long anticipated character, Acheron and Aventurine. And for any for new players, he's very valuable if you don't have any other good healers. But the unfortunate part is that if you some new player who managed to progress in the game quite a lot, at least up until you start 2.0 story up to Pentacoli, then you should have already by now able to unlock Pure Fiction, and if you have completed Pure Fiction at least once, you get free links, which is another good 4-star healer. So, and it's free too. Therefore, his value was kind of decreased quite a lot. Unless you really want his idolate or you really like the character. He is still very good to have, but at the time of his rerun, he was just in a very tough position to pull for.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that a lot of players who have been playing the game since launch have also realized that having a shielder to just completely prevent the damage, especially in a lot of the harder content, if you can just prevent that damage instead of having to waste a turn healing, and instead of doing more damage, you're actually going to have slightly faster clear times as far as the turn order goes. And so that can potentially be able to get you that last star a lot easier. I also have noticed that in a lot of gacha games that do a similar thing. So you'd rather just run a shielder instead of a healer and be able to dish out more damage that way.
Right. Yeah, so not saying that Lo Chao is gonna become obsolete, but his usage in the meta is probably gonna get lower than lower depending on how things go. Let's just say that much. So for Lo Chao, where should we put him in the tier list?
I think. Oh man, I'm kind of debating on whether he's plain or whether he's daddy lap.
Although the thing about
Because I
Mysterious
really
about
like his design.
Lo Chao is that he carries a coffin with him. Just exactly whose coffin is that and why, I wonder.
I mean, it could be his own. Maybe he's just preparing for his own death. Who knows?
Well, actually, he did kind of explain that it's for a friend, but
Yeah.
other thing about Lo Chao is that he's kind of accused to be in a cahoot with Jingli Yu too. So even though the man is on the path of abundance, and abundance is actually the enemy of the hunt.
Yeah.
But
I think for now we could probably just put him on plain.
yeah, let's put him on a plane. Plain is babe or husbando. Now we're back to the right order. We have little Linksy. Linksy, Sava's younger sister, and also the youngest sibling of the Lando family. I believe, I think we put her in the plain as babe, but she kind of could go in the chubby baby too.
I think we're just gonna move her down to chubby babies if she wasn't there before. She's a very good character, but I don't want to push my luck putting her any higher.
Yeah, me either. Then we have the mascot character, March 7. Dear old sweetheart March 7. As well as very mysterious of her own too. So where should we put her? I think the last time we put her, she was in the soft pillow.
Yes, March 7th, definitely soft pillow.
Yep, we're gonna put her in the soft pillow. Okay, so the next character, this character, I thought he was like considered to be the very first femboy in this game. Please welcome the hotel boy of the Penacony, and it is the one and only Misha. So, what do you know anything about Misha? Because I have no idea, other than he has the same element and path like Jingli Yu.
Yeah, so I think he definitely has more of like a freeze type mechanic to him. That's basically it. I have no idea. I could be completely wrong.
He is a 4-star character. He actually, if you build him well enough and correctly, he does do quite a lot of damage. He does do quite of damage. And I also love
some videos.
I also love that his ultimate is literally him like pushing the cart of baggages and accidentally dropping them all on the enemy.
Yeah, that's super cute animation for his ultimate.
Yeah, exactly. Although for anyone who's probably played through the story and completed the latest story, Honkai Star Rail, Misha actually somewhat of an important character. Very important character, actually. But I won't say anything other than that. But for Misha, I think he's in a chubby baby.
Yeah, I can't justify putting him any higher.
Yep. He's in a chubby baby with all these bunch of girls. Then we have another very, very lovely, very kind mommy character. It is Natasha, the doctor of the underworld. And I think the last time we put Natasha, I think she was either in the soft pillow or the mommy lap.
I think we put her in the mommy lap just because she has some very, very nice assets.
Yes, very nice asset. And she has a big gun too, quite literally.
Absolutely.
And if I would get sick, I would get my prescription from Natasha herself. And I'll pretend to be sick just to meet her.
Right?
And take care by her too. Yeah. Then we have I guess the kind of quote unquote the secretary to Bronya, and sort of like a librarian. It's Pella. And Pella, even though she looked like a short girl, let me tell you something. She's very, very useful. Oh my gosh. She is so good for Acheron team because she inflict debuff, damage reduction, as well as her skill remove buff on the enemies. And yeah, Pella is very good. She's a ice nihility unit, so she is very viable in Acheron team if you only have at E0 Acheron. And I think the last time, I believe we put Pella in either in plain as babe or soft pillow. I think it's plain as babe, but I'm not quite sure. Remember?
I honestly can't remember, but I think plain as babe is pretty good as far as thigh tier lists go. But yeah, she is indeed very, very strong. That defense break is It is very useful.
Yeah, it makes a lot of difference in the battle.
Yes,
and then we
absolutely.
have the character that I cannot pronounce her name because the last time I said this, I referred to as Kui, but then you corrected me that her real name pronounced is Ching Chao.
Yes, Qingchua
Chingchua.
is
Yeah, see, I still don't get it correctly even till this day.
yeah, she's a quantum erudition unit. She also has a little bit of RNG in her kit, very similar to Aventurine, but her RNG is based on the Jade tiles. Basically very similar to a Mahjong. But yes, she also at, I believe, E6 has the potential to do a couple follow-up attacks. So you can obviously run her with some follow-up attack units later on if you would really like to, but she's mostly focused on dealing a lot of damage with her skill and her ultimate.
Right. And honestly, I think she was in the plainest babe one because if anything, she's the one who wants to put her lap on somebody else's lap because she is just that lazy. She just doesn't want to do a job, and even if she get praise for doing an actual job for once, she actually like don't want that praise because that just put her pressure of doing more job. She's like,
yeah, she's
literally, yeah, she literally like almost like a spirit animal for anyone who just doesn't want to do their walk for a day and just play video game all day.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if you ever watched like this cartoon show. It's called A Regular Show, but the main character in this show, Mordecai and Rigby, do not do their job. Honestly, QQ can really be a good friend with them.
Yep, I could totally agree.
Yeah, I totally agree, right? So anyway, we're putting QQ in Play This Babe. Okay. This I've been waiting for because I need to play this song when we're doing this character.
Oh yeah, we definitely got to get her song in here.
Yep, I played this song. And please welcome the one and only, the superstar of the Honkai Star Rail universe, the idol, the queen, the legend. It is Robin! And I'm just was waiting for the part when she say, "Welcome to my world." And I love this character. Robin is just really awesome. She is a physical harmony character. She is very, very, very powerful right now because several things. So first off, her basic attack is very basic. It does a single target damage, but the thing about Robin is that I believe she has the somehow like the music pause itself whenever I stop talking. But she is how do I say it? She has a highest energy rate, I think at 160, when most of the character in the game is 140. But hear me out. The best way to get her energy is that if you unlock some of her traces, she actually gets some energy when your allies declare an attack or make an attack on the enemies. And the way she does it is that once her energy is up, you can use her ultimate. And after you use her ultimate, she enters a mode called Consento mode, like Consento mode. And she literally just starts singing. That's it. She literally starts singing. But not only that, she advanced forward your entire team. And they get like, I think, boost and crit damage and as well. And she also have this passive crit damage increase for follow-up attack if your ally does any follow-up attack. So Robin is built very centric for follow-up team. So she's very good with characters like Aventurine, Topaz, and Numby, and Dr. Ratio in the same team. And that's basically the dream follow-up team that you want to make if you have Robin. And Robin is just very, very great. In fact, getting her Eidolon could also be well worth it because one, her Eidolon at E1 give 28% for resistance penetration. So she works similarly like Ruan Mei. And there is some kind of argument in the Honkai Star Rail community of who is much better, Robin or Ruan Mei, because of this. But Robin and Ruan Mei work a little bit different because Ruan Mei focuses on break effect. Robin is more like follow-up attack and crit damage. And so where you want to build Robin is that you want to focus on a lot of her attack, and you might want to consider to use attack boost instead of speed boost, but you could put a little bit of a speed on her. And just generally, you really just want her to get as many energy quickly as possible so you can get her into the ultimate as soon as possible, make her start singing in the battle and boosting all of your allies. And again, the best kind of team to put her is follow-up attack, because follow-up attacker can, commit more attack in the turn, even not during their turn specifically, and she gain a boost of energy whenever your allies attack the enemy. Robin is just that perfect. She is
she's really
everyone's
good.
idol. She is cute. And now, okay, so for her, so hear me out, guys. I actually calculated how thick her thigh is. So,
oh no.
this is how it went down, alright? I look at her character trailer, the Sway to My Beat in Cosmos trailer, her character trailer from Honkai Star Rail official YouTube channel. During the trailer, there is one part where she do the Marilyn Monroe pose. Marilyn Monroe was a very famous actress of her time, back like in the early 20th century, like a little close to over 100 years ago actually. And she does this Marilyn Monroe pose, so you can see a little bit of her thigh there. If I measured that thigh from that scene and compared that to rest of all the other Honkai Star Rail female character thighs, including the most prominently Kafka, and I just chubby baby like Hook, for example, and make comparison. And all I can say is that from what I could find out, Robin's thigh might be a stick that is considered to be a mommy lap or soft pillar. It could go either way, but I feel like she's in the mommy lap. But what do you think, Astro?
I think she could go in soft pillow. I understand that her thighs are thick, but with her overall personality, I think soft pillow is definitely better suited for her, in my opinion. But you are more than welcome to put her in mommy tier if you would like.
All right then. Okay, Chad, what do you guys think? Do you think Robin is in the mommy lap or the soft pillow? Because personally, I think she should be put in the mommy lap. But that's for to decide, I mean, she has a pretty thick thigh. I mean, she's a little chicken thighs, She's a bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. Although I think her older brother Sunday has something else to say. I think he rather not put her in any of the tier list because of how
Sunday might be a little angry.
Yeah, Sunday might be a little angry. If anything, Sunday might want to put Robin to crush my skull because she is just better than everybody. I mean, she is the superstar. She literally is the idol in this game.
Yeah, definitely.
And this song, Swing to My Beat in the Cosmos. So interesting fun fact about Robin is that every voice actor is different based on the languages, but when Robin sings in the game, it's sung by one and only vocalist Chevy. If you knew Chevy, from at least what I researched a little bit on, Chevy actually just started as a simple YouTuber, kind of like Amelie, and she also, like Amelie, did a lot of singing, and eventually, after years, Chevy became more well-known. She probably even became more well-known now that she does the sing vocal for Robin in Honkai Star Rail. But I think we're gonna decide this by a flip a coin, so we're gonna put head for mommy lap and tail for soft pillow. Let's see where Robin go. And it's tail. Robin go to the soft pillow.
All right.
Yes, but honestly, yes, Robin is just very, very awesome. I can't wait to build her. I haven't built her yet since I pulled her. And to be honest with you, I think Robin is just very, very great. And I know Robin is just that type of character who just want to make everyone happy. She absolutely the character who want everyone to be happy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure. Very, very sure. Although it would be kind of funny if she just started Rick roaring everybody with her song. Like, instead of singing that song, she sang the Rick Roll by Rick Ashley.
That would be absolutely hilarious.
I was like, no! Alright then, next up, we have another well-worthy mommy character here. This character, we actually discussed this a little bit over, mentioned during Robin's segment. It is the one and only, another ice queen, and a very smart one too, because she is a scientist slash researcher, but with a very unknown yet dark attention. Please welcome Miss Ruan Mei. So, do you know how to work with Ruan Mei, Astro? Do you want to explain a little bit about her?
Yeah, so Ruan Mei is Ice Harmony unit, basically focused on break effect. She will obviously give your team extra break effect. She will also give your team resistance, penetration, and she also will extend the time that the enemies are broken. So that way they are less likely to take a turn, and they are obviously going to be dealt a lot more damage.
Yes. Yeah, like Ruan Mei is very, very powerful, and she is probably the very first character who walk around with break effect because of her kit. And actually, fun fact that I just this morning today, I actually finally completed building her because I actually kind of need to make a little adjustment to her relic and level it up. And I got to her break effect up to like 195.3%.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, she's gonna. And I haven't even like max out her traces yet. So that means that my roommate, her break effect can probably go over 200 if I max out her traces. Maybe.
Yeah, that'll be really nice.
Yeah, maybe. Although I think the last time I checked, I think I did unlock all of her minor traces that increases the break effect. But I have to check again. But however, I do need to maybe replace her link rope with the energy regeneration rope. But however, my energy regeneration rate for it is at 105%, so it's pretty good overall. And Ruan Mei is just really terrific character. Like, she is probably one of, if not best harmony character in the game because of her break effect. And maybe you could give a little bit of a explanation of how break effect work and, relate with the, enemy toughness shield and all.
Yes. So break effect is basically the type of damage that goes towards breaking the enemy shield. It's also dependent on what the enemies like the element that they are weakest to. And of course, if the enemy is broken by an effect, especially if they're weak to it, they if they're lightning, they can get the shock. If they're weak to physical, they could get bleed. Wind, you get wind shear. Fire, you get the fire dot. Ice can freeze the enemy, and quantum will give them, like, I forget exactly what it's called, but they basically get like a little quantum shock that reduces their turn order, like reduces their speed. And the imaginary break will, it will kind of trap them and also do a little bit of like turn manipulation for the enemy as well.
Yep. Yep, and Ruan Mei can provide you all that with her skill and her ultimate. She is just really, really great character to use. And I do love her ultimate because it feels so serene and just so calm. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
it's
It kind of
very,
makes me
very
want to
nice.
eat Japanese snack like a dango and a matcha tea just under the sakura tree for some reason. And funny thing is
Yeah,
that
I could.
Ruan Mei actually has a little bit of a sweet to it because she loves eating dessert. And she is the curator of the Kit Kat, if you know what they are.
Yeah, I could definitely go for some tea and mochi cakes right now. That would be really
Yeah,
good.
although the thing I did mention that Ruan Mei has a bit of a dark attention. While I don't want to say that she is a villain, she is researching in a way that she wants to become like an Eon. So she is kind of playing a little bit of a god. And essentially she abandoned a lot of her curation, including the poor cute cake cats. So she is kind of a little bit manipulative and maybe possibly evil, per se. We don't know. Maybe she's a mad scientist in heart.
Right.
But I think for Ruan Mei, I have a feeling that she should go in the mommy lab.
Absolutely. She's
I,
I think she's definitely on Black Swan level.
yeah, she's definitely on Black Swan level. Like, look at the thigh. It's like thick. And literally, you can literally see how thick the thigh is. Like, literally.
Right?
Like, it's just out there, man. And you know what? I'm gonna put her way above everybody else, a little bit underneath Black Swan, because Black Swan is much thicker than her. So Ruan Mei is there. She's above Bronya, Himeko, and everybody else.
Yep, definitely.
And oh my god, of course, this character, of course, this damn character. We eventually have to come to this character. But, of course, I
Indeed.
have to be, non-biased and be fair to everybody. Please welcome the troublesome, dashing, but not a very bad character to say, especially in a fight, and when it comes to Dot T. Please welcome Mr. Sample Kowalski. And no, not like Mike Kowalski, like Sample Kowalski. Can you explain a little bit about Sample? Because let me just tell you something. I hate this man.
So, funnily enough, a lot of people do not like this character. I think he's kind of funny in a way. But he is a wind nihility unit, very similar to Black Swan, can provide wind shear, very, very heavily focused on wind shear. And he does a really good job at it. I believe with his technique, he kind of throws a little smoke bomb that can distract your enemies for a little bit while you're in the overworld, so you can have a chance to kind of sneak attack on them. Very nice.
Right.
As far as the kit goes, a lot of people just do not like him and how much of a sneaky little rat he is.
Yes, and if you guys play through the current story of Honkai Star Rail in the 2.0, we learned that Sample, he actually not even a Bellabog native. He is actually from a different world. He is a member of the Masked Fools.
Yep.
So yeah, it makes so much sense of why he is such a treacherous bastard, or basically son of a nice lady. So he is a treacherous son of a nice lady. He is literally, it makes so much sense why he fooled people, because he is a fool. He's a masked fool. In fact, he is part of a group called the Tavern, who really love into box fighting for some unknown reason. But yeah, Sample, but when it comes to his kit and skill, he is viable and useful. If you don't have Black Swan, he is a good alternative because he is a 4-star character, and he does, and for a while until Black Swan, he was a good dot partner for Kafka team. So yeah, he's not that bad, but when it comes to his personality and his position in the story, yeah, he's not the most favorable character in the game. But where should we put this treacherous son of a nice lady? Where do you think you want to put him, Astro?
Oh, we can put him at the absolute very bottom end of plane.
Oh, I thought you were about to say chubby baby because I'll be gladly put him there. Actually, no, better yet, he's worse. He's not even a chubby baby. In fact, he could be in the trash can if all I care. Funny enough,
No,
he was in a trash can when he was trying to get away from Topaz, actually. So,
Right.
anyway, next up, we have, finally, we have a very good character from Belagar. Much better than Sample. It is one and only Zilly. Zilly, one of fan favorite character. And I think we want to put her in the Mommy lap because even though she doesn't want to be called Mommy, we cannot leave her without Bronya. And let me, actually, you know what? I'm going to put her right next to Bronya.
Yep. She also went right next to Bronya for me.
Yep. No argument there. Nothing more to say, nothing less. Okay, moving on. We have Savar, Lightning Erudition character. Savar, the oldest sibling of the Lando family. Big sister to Japon and Linksy. She literally is a big sister character, quite literally.
She really is.
She's just nice. And I think the last time, I think we put her in the soft pillow or mommy lap. I think we put her in the soft pillow, but I don't
I think we also put her in soft pillow.
Yeah, I think
not
we
quite
did,
mommy
but
tier, but
yeah. But did you know that Savar is looking really fine for like somewhere around the age of 40 or so? Because she's
oh
like
wow,
about,
I didn't realize she was that old.
because she's about like around the same age as Cocolia, allegedly.
Oh really?
Yeah, she's around the same age like Bronya's mom. Can you believe that?
No, there is no way.
Yeah, she looks fine for a very 40 plus year old woman. Yeah, she looks pretty good. Like she looked like in her 20s, but no, or at least in her late 20s. But like no, she's probably a little well above 40, maybe close to 50, but who knows?
But yeah, definitely soft pillow. I think is a good tier for her.
Okay, I think we finally approached the last Stellar Hunter. Well, not the last Stellar Hunter member, but the one that at least we officially as a playable character. We have Silver Wolf, very good character, Quantum Nihility character, and she actually inflict random type weakness on your enemy. But if you have the same type in your team, like say physical team, then she can inflict physical weakness on your enemy. As long as the effect hit rate is about close as 100%, because her skill does misses if it's not a 100% effect hit rate. So for Silver Wolf, because her thigh is just out there, I think we put her in the soft pillow the last time.
Yes, I think we also put her in the soft pillow tier.
Yeah, and also think about Silver Wolf is that interesting fun fact about Silver Wolf is that out of all the female characters in Honkai Star Rail, except for some few characters that's bare feet like Clara or even a little bit of Sparkle, Silver Wolf is the only female character who wear shoes.
Oh yeah, she wears like almost, I want to say sneaker type shoes.
Yeah,
I forgot exactly what she wears.
Yeah, she wears shoes. Speaking of barefoot, we have the mysterious, the one that fools everybody and literally rickroll everybody. And her character trailer was such a bop because of the song Melodrama, which, by the way, I think I will need to play that song right now. Let me actually find it. I do know the artist name who made the song. Yes, here it is. And I will and later after the stream, and I will put a credit to the artist here because the credit actually kind of want that credit in the video description later. But yeah, Sparkle theme, Melodrama. So yeah, Sparkle here. can you maybe give a little explanation what Sparkle can do?
Yes, so Sparkle is actually sort of similar to Branya in the fact that her skill can advance forward. However, her advance forward is only 50% instead of the 100% that Branya would normally give. But it does provide, the same crit damage buff, which is very nice. But Sparkle has a little fun mechanic. As long as she is in your party in battle, she will immediately give you 7 skill points instead of the usual 5. And her ultimate can give you a Cypher buff, which increases crit damage and will also refill the skill points, I believe, up to 5 in total.
Yes, Sparkle is
very, very nice
good.
for skill point heavy team.
Yep, skill point heavy team like say Danhang inhibitor Lune because of his enhanced basic attack thanks to through his skill. Character like she is very, very good, especially if you just haven't pulled Branya or even Robin. But Sparkle is such very, very good character. A lot of people refer to her as a Hanabi because I think that's her official Japanese name in the game. And everybody just loves Sparkle, even though she's a little gremlin. And we love little gremlin character.
Yeah, she's absolutely very useful. She can be useful even in party comps, like the follow-up attack teams, for example, that want to constantly, refresh their follow-up attack skill points, like how for example, Topaz has her follow-up attacks that she does with Numby. It's based on its stack. Same thing with Dr. Ratio. Can work very well with those teams as well.
Right, yeah. Sparkle is a very, very, interesting character. She is a member of the Mask Fu, like Sample. And also, I think a lot of people also like because of her feet, too. Like, literally, her feet is just out there. Look at that gripper. But anyway, Sparkle. So, where should we put her in the tier list?
I think
tier
Soft
list.
Pillow is pretty good.
Yeah, I believe Soft there too. Like, her thigh is pretty, chunky for sure, but look kind of soft though. So we're gonna put her in the Soft Pillow. Next, we have Susang. Susang, I believe she's a physical hunt? Or was it
Yes.
physical destruction?
No, it's Hunt.
Okay. So I
yeah.
think Susang was in the Soft Pillow the last time.
Yes, I believe she was also in the Soft Pillow. Either that or Plain, but I'm pretty sure we put her in Soft Pillow.
And she's also a very reliable, maybe somewhat reliable friend character, and she's a good friend with Guinevere and Huohuo. But with those three, they literally become the Ghostbuster team. I love them. And I also love how the Foxterial Garden event started when they were investigating Garden when it was haunted, and she's supposed to be a Cloud Knight, and yet she's the first one who get fainted on the mission. literally, it's like almost if some kind of a murder scene happened. She literally lied down if a murder scene happened. Literally, it's kind of like Law and Order TV show on CBS.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
They're
I need to go pull the lasagna out of the oven, so I will be right back. It might be a couple minutes.
What a perfect timing.
But you also need to take a short break?
Yes, I need to stretch. I've been sitting here for too long. Anyway, we'll see you guys soon. Get a little stretch break, move around, get maybe a refill water and snack, and we'll see you guys soon. Be right back. Okay, I am back and seem like Astro Kaio is not available yet, but anyway. And hello, Cornell. Sorry that I missed your message there, simp. But we all are. Yep, definitely agree. We are all simp here, but we're proud of it. We're proud to be a simp. We are all proud simp in here, but hopefully you guys are enjoying this tier list so far. And if you do, please consider giving us a like and check out Kaio's channel too. And matter of fact, I need to share it. Hang on a second. Let me just get her links to her YouTube channel. Let me just search it for a moment. Let's see now. I just Astro uses Acheron stylist for her channel. Nice. Very nice. Let me just send a link to her YouTube channel, and I'll post it in my chat box here so you can check it out. Astro channel there. There you go. Nice. All right then. We're just waiting for Kyle to unmute herself soon. But yeah, this has been a really fun tier list so far. I'm just enjoying this wonderful tier list. It's been so much fun. Hopefully you guys are not experiencing any kind of a drop fade, because apparently OBS Studio said I'm experiencing a drop frame, but only at 0.1%. So it should not be that too much of a big deal. But so far, things look like it's going good. I will rewatch this VOD because there's definitely stuff that I want to clip from this VOD for sure. Very for sure. And just having so much fun. Man, so much fun. I need to drink water. Oh, thank you, Kyle Astro, for the message. I did not expected you. Are you gonna come back online? Is a lasagna okay? And everyone, I could be the tester. I could just taste the lasagna for you if you want to make sure that it's all fine and dandy. I hope Asher can hear me. I'm pretty sure she could. Yes. We have like a couple more characters to go. We have about, let's see now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 or 11 more characters to go? Which isn't bad. I mean, we've been only streaming for like a little over 2 hours now. About around 2 hours now. So yeah, stream is going really well. Okay then. Okay, just waiting for Astro. Matter of fact, let's listen to some music while we waiting for Astro. Just listen to some music. So let's just chill and relax and listen to some music while we wait for her. But yeah, it's been really good. Oof. After the stream is done, probably gonna get ready to eat dinner too. But if I have a little bit of time, maybe I could start editing videos. I think the next video I want to edit is a character pool. Matter of fact, speaking of video, I have a new video coming out probably like tomorrow or Friday. So keep an eye on out. And the only way for you guys to find out is by hitting the subscribe button and hitting the notification bell, so you'll be notified when that video is uploaded, because it is. And if you enjoy Honkai Star Rail, that video will be about Honkai Star Rail. Nothing more, nothing less. And is Astro back? Is she back? Okay, maybe she's not back yet. Nope, she's not back yet. She's still muted. Ooh, man, I'm so hungry too. Maybe she should have invited me to lasagna. Welcome to my world. Not the destination. Whoa, sometime. Oh. Not the destination.
Sorry, it took so long.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I was just humming to
refilling
myself
my
the
water.
Robin theme song, and I was talking about lasagna. But anyway, welcome back. Moving on, let's get to a show. We have about at least 10 or 11 more characters to go. So when far from finishing, but we're very close. First up, next character we have a dead character. No, I'm just actually not kidding about that. This character is kind of a little bit dead, and we do not know the whereabouts if she's still alive or not. But please welcome the Foxian merchant, Tingyu. So Tingyu is a lightning harmony character. She's very, very awesome character to use. 4-star character. Probably well worthy to be a 5-star, actually. She's a 5-star value character, in my opinion. And I think the last time we did a tier list, we put her in a soft pillow, even though she's kind of dead.
Yeah, I think we also put her in soft pillow tier as well.
Yes. Next up, we have Topaz and Numby. Or maybe this is just Topaz herself. But anyway, yeah, I remember this one because I actually recently rewatched our old tier list VOD. And we put Topaz in the Crush My Score because you have a bit of a bias about this character, right?
Oh, yes, I do. She can go right in between Aventurine and Acheron for me.
Honestly, kind of fit well because, like I said at the beginning when we did the Aventurine segment, the voice actor of Topaz was so down horrendously bad for Aventurine.
Oh, absolutely.
And what's the awkward thing about it is that voice actor is a colleague to the voice actor of Aventurine, and in the game, Topaz is a colleague to Aventurine. So it's kind of a little weird how that played out.
I mean, honestly, it makes so much sense.
Yes, so we're putting Topaz back in the Crush My Score, but if Numby was just a character itself, we would definitely put Numby in the soft pillow.
Oh yeah, Numby would be like the cute little plush. Definitely. I need to get a plushie for Numby.
Numby plushie, bro.
Numby plushie. I need one so bad.
Me too. I want one too. Next up, we have the thighs of the main protagonist, Stelly, the female version of Trailblazer. So, Ashel, how about could you explain a little bit special about the Trailblazer? How about explain her about her up until her preservation path?
Yeah, so the Trailblazer, both male and female, whatever your preference. I prefer Stell. She's absolutely adorable. But she has the ability to switch paths, which is very similar to how in Genshin Impact you can switch the element that they're equivalent to. So you start off with the physical Trailblazer. They are a destruction unit. Very, very balanced overall. They are very good at dealing damage, very good tank. Later on in the game, when you start needing to have more specialized units, of course, it kind of falls off a little bit. But with the release of Robin, and now that we, can have a little bit more variation in our monophysical teams, I kind of want to go back and make my physical Trailblazer a absolutely broken DPS. Next up is the preservation path. Fire
and don't forget
Trailblazer.
That. Sorry to interrupt you, Ash, but don't forget that as a physical Trailblazer, he is known as the Galactic Baseballer.
Oh yes, Galactic Baseballer.
And the Lord of Trash Can.
Yes.
Catalog. The catalog.
Absolutely, the queen of trash.
The queen of trash.
But yes. So moving on, we have the Fire Preservation Path Trailblazer. They are basically exactly what it states. They're fire, they're preservation, they do shields, they do a little bit of a taunt mechanic as well. Their viability is still very, very nice, even especially if you don't have Aventurine, you don't have Japard, and you let's say that you only have March 7th as your other shielder. Fire Trailblazer is still very nice. They can also, if you are running the Trend of the Universal Market light cone, when they are hit, they can provide a fire DOT. So if you want to run them in a .team with Kafka, for example, it's also very viable. So overall, very nice. And then with the latest release of the Penacony storyline, we did get a Harmony imaginary version of the Trailblazer.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, we
just
did.
very quickly, just going to state that they're very similar to Ruan Mei. Not obviously anywhere close to that level, of course, but if you don't have Ruan Mei like me, because you missed her banner, very, very, very handy.
Yes, so Harmony Trailblazer, yes. And the latest, this is kind of a little bit of a spoiler for the story, but at some point in the Penacony story, you can unlock the third path for Trailblazer, the Harmony path, and Harmony Trailblazer become an imaginary Harmony character, and with the blessed by the power of the Eon of Harmony and the Eon of Pop Michael Jackson, literally the Trailblazer become Michael Jackson. So Harmony, as an Harmony MC, I actually did a little study in this, is that when he or she uses the ultimate, they give a buff called the backup dancer, and this lasts for a sweet turn. The cooldown is based on the Trailblazer turn. It gives ally a super break effect, meaning this increases break effect damage when enemies broken after weakness break, and type does not matter. So there is no type resistance when it comes to using this. And at Ascension level 2, the super break damage is triggered by the backup dancer effect increases by 20, 30, 40, 50, and up to 60%. And the skill hits random enemy after you select your main target, because the skill has a little bit of a bounce effect to it. So in other words, if you use this skill, it targets on the enemy, but it does a little bounce effect where it'll choose a random other enemy and does damage to them as well, randomly. So yes, Harmony Trailblazer, it's the brand new path in the game, and it's apparently very broken from what I heard. And this ultimate, as well as the look to it, it's been teased since the beginning of the Penacony saga back in February when Honkai Star Rail released the official music promo for the game 2.0, the White Knight, when Trailblazer was dancing alongside with Aventurine in that music promotion video. And yeah, so Harmony Trailblazer, it's very, very powerful. It's sort of a sub DPS. It's both of a support role, but it can also dish out massive damage on all thanks to its super break effect. And so it's very, very great. And Trailblazer can become even more powerful if you put her or him in the same team with Ruan Mei, and Ruan Mei can provide more break effect support for the Harmony Trailblazer. So in Century, you can make a team just literally have Harmony Trailblazer as the main DPS. It is pretty good.
Indeed.
And yes, and I love the Harmony Trailblazer Ultimate because she or he literally dances like freaking Michael Jackson. Literally become Michael Jackson.
Absolutely. I still need to unlock mine. I'm still working on trying to catch up on the story quest, but I could not avoid the ultimate animation for that, and that just makes me want to go speed run through the story even more.
Yeah. Yeah, speed run challenge win. But anyway, so the MC Trailblazer, where should we put? Maybe did we put them in the soft pillow or the plainest babe or husbando?
I think we put them soft pillow before.
Okay, then.
Because they're not quite mommy tier, but
I don't know about you, but I think the Trailblazer, no matter which gender, want to be pampered by the mommy character, especially like Kafka, right. Black Swan, Ruan Mei, Himeko. Yes, so many.
Definitely.
So many character.
Definitely. Yes, I think soft pillow is a good tier for them.
Ah, yes. Here we come. We have the man who is young at heart, but who happened to be very old. But this man is actually originally from a different game, but somehow through his journey, he came to our world, the Honkai Star Rail universe. and became a member of the Astro Express, the Nameless, is the knowledgeable Mr. Welt Yang. So, can you explain a little bit what can Mr. Yang can do in the game?
Yes. So Welt is imaginary nihility. He can more or less imprison the enemies in the imaginary slow effect thing, reducing the turn order for the enemy. Very more or less very good character for that. Works really well with Acheron. Can't go wrong with putting him in there. Before we got Aventurine, he was actually used in the follow-up attack team with Dr. Ratio and Topaz, as he provided a pretty significant amount of debuffs for Dr. Ratio to pretty consistently use his follow-up attack.
Yes, I heard something about that. Alright, and a little fun fact about Mr. Welt is that according to the manga for the original Honkai Impact 3rd, he and this other character decided to travel to the universe, but somehow only Welt is the one who managed to survive, and that is how he came to the Honkai Star Rail universe. So yes, Mr. Yang is originally a Honkai Impact 3rd character. If you guys have played the original Honkai Impact 3rd Part 1, and yeah, well, just his existence in Honkai Star Rail proved that this game, Honkai Star Rail, is a part of a bigger universe, or rather the multiverse of the Hoyo games. So yeah, who knows? We might see more other character hopping between universes for all we knows. But Mr. Yang is one of a kind. And can you believe that Mr. Yang, despite how he looks, he's like a well above over 100 years old?
Yeah, he's old.
And he has like the most powerful things in a form of a cane. And don't underestimate this cane, because this cane can literally summon a freaking black hole. This man literally carrying a black hole with him all the time. Yeah. You don't want to get on his bad side. Definitely not. But anyway,
Yeah, definitely
where do you
not.
think he belongs to? Is he in the Daddy Yo lab? Is he in the playing his Husbando, soft pillow? Maybe crush my skull just for the reason he is carrying a black hole all the time? What? Where do you think he belongs to?
Not gonna lie, I think he should go in the plain tier. I love his character and I love his kit. He's just not quite daddy enough for me.
I don't disagree with you, Dad. So he's gonna go into the plainest Husbando. Next up, we have the sister. I think it's the older sister or the younger sister. No, it's the older sister to Hanya. Hanya's older sister, and also the member of the Ten Lords Commission. It is Zerhi. I think I pronounced her name correctly.
Yi is very, very nice.
Zuehi. Yes, Zuehi. What did she do, Astro?
Yi is a quantum destruction unit. She actually does follow-up attacks as well. So, funnily enough, she is on the Robin banner. So, if you are in need of another follow-up attack unit, Robin is also a good support for her. So, if you can get multiple copies of them, you're golden. But yes. So I haven't really used Yi a whole lot, but she is very strong for a 4-star unit. I forgot exactly what she focuses on. Give me one sec here. I could probably look it up.
I believe that her ultimate ignores type weaknesses and can reduce their toughness. Yes.
Yeah, I remember that for sure. She also does something else. I really wish I could remember exactly what she does.
And also a little other fun fact.
Regardless,
yes.
She's still very strong.
Yes, Liz Strong. Other fun fact about story-wise is that, or background size, her lore side is that the Zuehi that we see, it's also she's kind of a zombie in a sense because her soul has been transferred from one body to another, and that character we see, that's not even her real body. That's a robot. It's a robot clone of her. So we don't exactly know why she became a robot, but some of the Lyco kind of give a little bit of a backstory that explains a bit. Still don't know the reason why she became a robot, but she's an android, and basically she has a multiple copy of her body, kind of almost similar to like Herda.
Yeah,
Very,
very very similar to Herta in that way.
very, very interesting. And Zuehi, even though she looked very emotionless, she does care for her sister Hanya.
Oh yeah, she, Zhui Yi and Hanya are the most like adorable sibling duo. They're both kind of soulless a little bit, but it's fine.
Yeah, her Eidolon at E6 actually shared the same Eidolon art with Hanya too, which is very interesting. Although,
Yeah,
if I want to say, I think Zuehi, and Hanya fall into the anime trope of the older sister looks like plain, but the younger sister is much more well endured.
yeah, like much more like menacing and intimidating.
No, not just that, but when I mean well endured, like basically the younger sister has the bigger breast and
Oh
thighs.
yeah, yeah, that too.
Poor Zway, and she's the oldest sister. But I don't think she really cared much about that. But anyway, Zway, yeah, she kind of looked a little emotionless, but she does care for other. I mean, she does play an important role during the Horror's mission event at the Fuxerio Garden. She does play an important role in that, and I think that's the time when she was first introduced as a character too, as a playable character. And Zui is a very good character. She does indeed have her own follow-up mechanic, and she's very, very powerful. I mean, she could be very good for your
Yeah, very
mono quantum
powerful
team,
for.
and she's just generally a very good character to build around her, especially if you really want to build a break effect centric team. So she could be a very viable in that. And of course, her best partner is her sister Hanya too. So if you want, you could put her and Hanya in the same team, and they will do just well if you built them right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think for Zuehi, I kind of want her in the soft pillow, but I don't think her thigh is gonna be very soft or very warm because she's a freaking android, unless she has her own temperature system. But I have no idea.
I wouldn't be able to tell you either, so I think we could probably put her in plain. Would you agree?
Yeah, plain is babe. She's a babe, but she's kind of plain too. Okay, then. Next up, we have probably another one of the most forgettable characters in the game because this man, he was very viable at the very beginning when the game first came out, but after so many better DPS character released, he just became less and less like credible or just not usable anymore. He's not the useless, I would say, but he's just not. Basically, he's kind of very hard to build. Please welcome the sidekick to Jing Yuan, Yang Qi, Jing Yuan's apprentice, and also happened to be a Cloud Knight himself. What can Yang Qi do exactly? I remember that his kit is that he can never get hit, not even once.
Yeah. So he's an ice hunt unit. He does actually deal slightly more damage based on, I believe, if the enemy is frozen. He has a slight freeze mechanic in his kit as well, so you do have at least a higher chance of having the enemy be frozen for him to do the extra damage. The other thing too is that he deals extra damage as long as he does not get hit. So if you are wanting to run Yang Qi, you pretty much always want to have a shielder. And in this case, the best shielder for him is actually Japard, because Japard also applies a freeze on his skill, and his ultimate is basically an infinite shield if you have him built just right. So I honestly would not run him with anybody else other than Japard. And then, of course, you can run him with some other support units, debuffers, etc. But
Yes, and
yeah,
Yang
it's
Chi, just like some other character, he has his own little passive follow-up attack too, doesn't he?
yes, it is a slight follow-up attack. It is not like the main part of his kit, so I wouldn't obviously focus on putting sets on him that focus on follow-up attack damage, but it's kind of just extra. It's a there. It's one of those things where it's there, it's cool, it does some extra damage, not the main focus of his kit, so I would definitely focus more on like the basics of his kit and making sure that he does as much, of his base damage as possible.
Right, right, right. Yeah, so Yang Chi, other thing about fun fact about Yang Chi is that this guy, and since he's not very used a lot by other players based on the Honkai Star Rail player base, he mostly come and appear as a boss in some of the harder game content mode, like Pure Fictions and Master of Chaos, very commonly, which tells a lot. Basically, be that he literally became everyone's punching bag. He literally became everyone's punching bag, quite literally.
Yeah.
That's why he's not the most forgettable character. I know I put him at number 6 in my top 6 most forgettable character in Honkai Star Rail video. If you guys want to check that out, go check it out. It's available now. Watch for free. Anyway, yeah, Yang Chi is not the most forgettable character just because he appear as a boss in some of the end game content like Pure Fiction, Massive Chaos, and even sometimes the simulated universe. But yeah, Yang Chi, he's just kind of very hard to build. I mean, he can be very strong if you have a very strong shielder, but there's just so much other better DPS who does probably like more damage than he can provide in the game.
I will say that he is definitely easy to build as far as crit stats go. Um, so he is viable and very easy to build that way. And if you invest in him a lot, he can provide a lot of damage. But obviously, there have been many other hunt units, many other destruction units that just do more than he does.
Yes, unfortunately, a lot of the later in-game content like Pure Fiction, we have like bosses and enemies like does like AOE damage too, so it's kind of hard to use Yang Chi if you're the one playing him. But when it comes to the tier list level, I think he's kind of either in the plane is Husbando, although he's a kid, so I think it's best to put in the chubby baby, even though he's not the most chubbiest, has the most chubbiest thigh there is.
I think I'd put him probably in the plane tier. I think he seems like he's about the same age as Pela and Qingchua, so I think that's
Yeah, although personally, I think he's much more older because he is a long-lived species, so he's much more older in appearance. But yeah, I agree.
right.
He's in the plainest husbando tier list along with everybody else. Next up, we have another character, probably the last character from the Jianzhao Alliance. We have Yukong. What can Yukong do exactly? I don't quite remember.
So Yukong is a imaginary harmony unit. She focuses on buffing attack and crit damage. So very similar to Bronya in that aspect. She doesn't obviously do any turn order manipulation. So with that being said, you want to make sure that your speed tuning is about as close as you could possibly get for, your deep between her and your DPS units. The other thing too is that her buffs are based on a like 2-turn stack ability. So if you don't have that speed tuning down just right, your DPS could take a turn without having that extra buff. So definitely playing her on auto battle mode is not recommended whatsoever. But she is still a very, very nice support. I will also say that at C0, she is usable, but not the most viable. She gets a little bit better and easier to use when you get her higher Eidolons. But as far as the rest of her kit goes, if you do have her in your party and you're running around in the overworld, her technique will give you the zoomies and let you go through the overworld a lot faster. But yeah, like I said, she's not completely useless. She does what she does very well. It's just it takes a little extra effort to make sure that your speed tuning is done properly and to make sure that your DPS isn't going to take a turn without that extra attack and crit damage buff from her.
Right, and plus she, maybe she, instead of a Foxian, she should be a Hedgehogian because she literally can go zoomy mode when you use a technique in the overworld.
Yes,
but yeah,
sure.
I think the last time in a tier list, I think we put Yukong in the mommy lap. I mean, she's literally is a mom. If anything, she might consider as a MILF.
Yeah, she's definitely mommy tier for me as far as thighs go. So,
yep, she is in a mommy lap. Now we have the most interesting, the one and only, the legend himself, the crush my skull definition. It is Mr. Svarog. Yeah, there's nothing else to say. He's in my crush my skull, but for a different reason. What is that reason exactly? Well, he doesn't just crush your skull. He literally obliterates your skull. That's the reason why we're putting him there in that higher tier list.
Yep, he's a giant robot that can just crush your skull into oblivion. It's great.
Although some people might consider him as a husbando because he is such a good caretaker to Clara.
Yeah, big guardian protector robot.
Yep. Next up, we have somebody that I mentioned earlier during the Branya segment and Savaz segment. We have the former Supreme Guardian of Belobog and Branya's mom herself. It is Cocolia. Now, Cocolia isn't a playable character like Mr. Svarog, although I can argue that Mr. Svarog is a playable character because he is part of Clara. If you use Clara in the game, I'll have her as a character. But Cocolia is a non-playable character. And she is another important character from the original Honkai Impact 3rd. But in Honkai Star Rail, she is actually your very first big baddie villain character in the game. In Honkai Star Rail, at the very last chapter of the Belobog arc, she actually infect herself with the Stellaron and she becomes the super boss. And let's just say the theme song, the boss theme song you hear when you fight her during her second phase, it's a blast.
Yeah, the theme song for her boss fight is just absolute banger. I listen to it all day, every day.
Nice. I should listen to it often, but it's such a really great song. You guys should hear it. Hoyo First or Hoyo Mix rather, they don't disappoint when it comes to music. So Cocolia, yeah, I think she should be put in the mommy lap.
Yep. No disargument there.
Yeah. Heroes, and also there is the interesting fact, like, Cocolia, this version games of Cocolia, unfortunately went on a very darker path, kind of became a little crazy in a sense, But she was a good friend with Saval, although some people theorize that there maybe was something more than just a friend between them. But we'll just never know because Cocolia is kind of dead. Well, I mean, we're the one who killed her in the first place, kind of in a sense. So, yeah, Cocolia is definitely in the mommy lap, and she is a Lyria mom. She is also, like you call, she also is a MILF.
Yes.
And this time, I believe this is a very strange thing. So a lot of people want this character to be a 4-star character, and I thought he was gonna be a playable character when I first saw him first appear in the game. But please welcome from the Genius Society, he is Mr. Screwlum. And we do not know exactly what he can do. But if I can imagine what can he do in the game, what would you think? What can he do in the game, Astro, if he was a playable character?
Well, I would definitely think that he would be a Nihility unit.
Really?
Because we have, I think he would be a Nihility unit. And the reason why I say that is because on one of the Nihility light cones, he's actually visible on it. I believe it's the Battle Pass light cone. And I also think that that's one of the main reasons why he's going to become playable, because you do not put a random character on a light cone if they're not going to be playable. You just don't do that.
Right. There's some little bit of argument because, like, I don't want to spoil any kind of story from the latest game, but there is that 4-star limited event harmony light code that's good for Robin, and it shows the Trailblazer of the Old that Pom Pom want you to look for, and you do learn about what exactly happened to those Trailblazer of the Old, and I don't think those Trailblazer characters, even if they appear in the light code, will be a playable character for a long time now.
Right, but those characters are also dead as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten through the rest of the story yet, but as far as I'm aware, they're dead. So they are important to the story, however, so I can understand why they are on the light cone. But yeah, I definitely think that he is going to be an Nihility character if he is playable.
now that I mention it, how old is exactly Pom Pom?
I do not know.
Yeah, isn't the Ember era in a Honkai Star Rail like 1,000 years or something like that? Something. So that means Pom Pom is like
really sure.
That means Pom Pom is like probably Pom Pom is considered to be the oldest NPC or character in all of Honkai Star Rail. Older than everybody here. That is
Pom Pom
insane.
is old, but very, very cute.
That is super insane to think about. But anyway, yeah, for Screwlum, where should we put him in the tier list?
I
mean, he is a robot.
I think honestly, just putting him in the plain tier would probably be okay for now. Obviously, if he is playable later on and we learn more about his kit and himself as well, like that could change.
Right.
But for now, I think plain is probably the best tier to put him in.
Yep. And look at that, guys. We finally completed the tier list. I know we have one extra picture, but that's a picture of Dunhunger Inhibited Lune. But we already put him in the mommy/daddy-yo lab, but I'll just put it there again. Anyway, we finally completed it. We completed the entire tier list. And it only took us like about 2.5 hours. Oh, pretty good timing, actually. And it's almost dinner time for me because I know
good timing indeed.
My wife is actually coming home late because she's on a late shift for her part-time job. And she usually come home around like in about 30 or so minutes from now. Anyway, yeah, we finally completed it. Man, this tier list was very fun. But at least, we went over some of the older character and we went some new up there, the Trailblazer, introduced some of the new character. I don't know if we're going to do a tier list 3.0 with more new character because we know this new character like Firefly and Jade were revealed in the last drip mod here. They're coming in 2.3 We're expecting Boot Hill to appear in the second phase of the current update, and I know Astra is very excited. But if Boot Hill was in this tier list, where will you put him, Astro?
If Boot Hill was in the tier list, he'd go. I gotta put him in Crush My Skull. I'm sorry, I can't not put him up there.
Ah, mother fudger. Yeah, you have a good point there. You have a good fudging point.
Absolutely.
You have a good 14 point, man. Man, I love Boot Hill. I don't know why he cannot swear, but I like it. I like his language where he just cannot swear at all. Mother fudger. Anyway,
yeah,
yep.
He's swearing without swearing.
Yeah, swearing but no swearing. What the fuck? Anyway, yeah, everybody, I think all these characters deserve in the position they're in the tier list. I'm gonna download or save it later. But, yes, everybody, I hope that you guys enjoy watching this tier list. Please go check out Astro Kaio's YouTube channel. She live stream on YouTube. She is actually back on board with content creation, and hopefully she keep up with it. And I wish her all the luck. And create her luck in the Honkai Star Rail game as well. But Astro Kaio, what are you planning to do for the rest of the night? Or what is your plan for the rest of the evening and the week?
I am going to be working on editing some videos, getting those uploaded. I also have planned for tomorrow a stream on Star Ocean Second Story R. It's a very wonderful JRPG. I played a little bit of it on the Switch, but I've wanted to stream it all for everyone because I think it would be just a very fun experience. Friday we're doing obviously some more Honkai Star Rail content. Not exactly sure what we're going to be doing yet, but we'll figure it out when we get there. And
nice.
As usual, just kind of the usual content creation, even if it is a little bit slow. I make sure that it gets done.
Okay, very fantastic to hear. Yeah, so I am definitely gonna be editing this bot into some clip. I know one particular part I want to clip into, although I kind of forgot about it. Oh no, I do remember it. Anyway, I think that there's a lot of good moment to clip from this live stream into short clip video or maybe even a highlight video of sort. But that will be it for another time. And as for me, for anyone who's watching on Astro's side, I will be streaming again all weekend long for Paper Mario. I'm going to try to complete that game before the release of Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door Remake coming on into the Switch next Friday, May 24th. So, if you guys want to check me out here on YouTube because I only stream and make content here on YouTube. Twitch is just full of cesspool now.
Yes, for anyone who is watching the stream on my end, please definitely go give a sub and a like to C+Hero. He's a wonderful collab partner. I am very happy to collaborate with him on this tier list again in the future. He makes really good content. Go check him out. You guys will, if you love my content, you'll love his content as well.
Yes. One last thing before we go. One more last thing before we go. Doctor, you're huge!
Yes, indeed.
Oh, anyway, everybody is huge here. Well, except for maybe the chubby baby, but they're pretty big when it comes to the chubby baby thighs. But anyway, I think that will be a wrap for the day, guys. Good night, yo. I hope that you guys all have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday or hump day. But if you already begun Thursday morning, if you live on the other side of the world, they wish you luck on Friday's Eve. Happy Friday's Eve to you all. And good luck for the rest of the week. Go and get ready for work, go to school, whatever, or in life in general. And we'll see you guys next time. Take it easy, guys. See you around. Sayonara and good night.
Alrighty. Just wanted to thank everyone again for the wonderful stream. I really appreciate every single one of you being here. And I hope to see you all again in the stream tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.
Yep.
See you
Good
next
night.